Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Please, sir, may we meet you?
Yes. My name is Right Honorable Dr. C.C Osuala, PhD.
And what's your portfolio in this government, sir?
My portfolio, I'm the Commissioner for Budget, Economic Planning and Statistics
Okay, sir.
in the three-arm government, heavily led by Governor HOSTESS.
Okay, sir. So far, how does the Imo State budget, which is under your purview, the purview of your ministry, relates with the common man?
Well, in any structured society, even family, and as it pertains to Imo State, the way the budget of Imo State since the arrival of Governor HOSTESS as the governor of Imo State relates to the communities in Nigeria,
Okay.
and especially in Imo State, is that we use World Bank indices for the first time to prepare budgets. And we have what is called Community Charter of Demands. And the Community Charter of Demands comes from the fact that we go to various communities. I think in Imo State, almost 500 plus communities that we have, autonomous communities. And we organize the legislators, the chairman of different councils and committees in that community, women leaders, youth leaders, the royal highnesses, the kings, the chiefs, the town union presidents, everybody. We ask them, what do they want the government to do for them?
Okay.
And then we have town hall meetings. That is how we originate the budget of Imo State since the arrival of Governor HOSTESS. And this is in compliance with World Bank requirement called State Fiscal Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Program of World Bank, SEFTAS in abbreviation. When we gather the information through this Community Charter of Needs, then we translate it statistically to represent the needs of various communities in Imo State. Then we bring it up to state level. Then we have stakeholders meeting where Ezimo and all the traditional rulers participate, and all the PGs in Imo State participate. Sometimes they bring their representatives. All the CSOs, the civil society organizations, participate. Physically challenged, all of them participate in the budgetary process at the state level. Then from there, when the budget is prepared at that level, of course, it becomes a draft budget. And we send it to Imo House of Assembly for them to synthesize it in a legislative manner. Then they return it with their own legislative input before we send the final draft to ESCO, the Executive Council. And then from that process, it's sent to Imo House of Assembly for them to fix the date when the budget will be discussed, and subsequently when the governor and his team will be invited to present the budget formally for the Imo people. That is the process. So the fact that these things involve the citizens ab initio, that is our number one start. You know, we are talking of the common man, so to speak. All of us are the same before God. So the language of common man doesn't really make too much sense. So everybody is involved. We ask communities, where do you want borehole? Not only asking them, do you want borehole? We say, where will you want it sited? Because we want the people to take ownership of it. And that's why we've been very successful. This administration has been very successful in putting infrastructures in Imo State.
Okay, sir. I learned that in about 2 years now, the Imo State budget has been winning the World Bank State Fiscal Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Program, SEFTA, just as you mentioned. The program, the funds attached to the program. I learned that Imo State has been winning that fund. Is it true? If yes, how much? And what is the success secret?
Okay. Since 2021, 2022, 2023, plus 2020, Imo State has gotten on average $10 million through this program. Yes, on the average, 10 million. If we count 2023, Imo State will be getting about $40 million. And this is World Bank grant through SEFTAs. There are what we call delivery link indicators or disbursement link indicators, DLIs. And there are what is called delivery link resource or disbursement link resource. The delivery link indicators are things that the states are required to do. Just like the first question you had, that comes under community engagement.
Okay.
When you do community engagement, that is what is called community sensitization. That is what is called creating awareness.
Okay.
Because the essence of modern budgeting, which I must add in parentheses, that the only governor in the history of Imo State that introduced this process is Governor HOSTESS of Imo. This process of World Bank budgeting has never happened in the history of Imo State since 1976. Imo State was created.
Wow.
This is the best innovation this governor has brought to Imo State. And for the last 3 years, we've been getting a minimum of $10,000 US.
Wow.
And that is in grant from World Bank. And that grant is not a loan, it's free funds for the work that Imo State is doing in terms of making their budget in compliance with global requirements.
Wow.
And for people that may doubt this, you can go to www.imostate.gov.ng, and I repeat, www.imostate.gov.ng, lowercase letters, with your phone, with your computers, wherever you are in the world. For the first time, you can access Imo State budget online, in any location, whether you're in New York City, or you're in Los Angeles, or you're in UK, or you're in Germany, or in Lagos, especially in Imo State. You can sit at the comfort of your home. When you go to that and hit the link budget, then you will see all the activities that make World Bank to see that the funds are coming into Imo State based on our budgetary requirements, because what we are doing is prudent management of resources.
Okay.
That is the benchmark. That what you budget is from something that will have positive impact on the life of the people, and that the administration is prudently using that money to better the citizens of the state, which Governor HOSTESS of Imo has given that innovation to Immobile through the help of this office.
Fantastic, sir. You really made some money for this government and for Ndimo through your prudent management in budgeting. I must applaud you, sir.
Thank you.
The third question I have is, how is the Imo State budget impacting on Imo internally generated revenue, IGR of Imo State?
The funds that we are receiving from World Bank, based on proper management and proper budgeting, those funds, besides calling a grant, is going to the coffers of the government. So it's resources government are using to do the infrastructural program, which is the resources that comes under the internal generated resources for the state. Because it's the state that takes custodian of the money that comes in, not the citizens or anybody. So, and the state judiciously spend those money on projects, building good schools, renovating roads, building new roads. Everything is seen transparently across the state, plus other sources of funding.
Okay, sir. By your assessments, relating from the economy of Imo State over the years in the past administrations, so far, how do you assess the Imo State economy as a result of your ministry? How has your ministry so far reformed Imo State economy from what Imo State economy used to be to now? How do you assess it? What is the assessment?
The assessment, and this assessment is objective assessment. It's just say, how do you assess day, light, and darkness? Prior to Governor HOSTESS of Imo arriving, no citizen of Imo State can say that he or she can go online to access the Imo State budget. It has never been done. So that is why I'm giving the difference between something that is opaque and what is light. Opaque is something you cannot find. You understand? Light is something like this is daylight. So anywhere you can access what we are saying. And that is how the funds are coming in and how the funds are being dispensed. So that is the most objective assessment. Now, if I want to say compare, there is never an administration in the history of Imo State again that World Bank has ever given any money for budgetary transparency. It has never happened.
Wow.
So that shows you that this administration, what it has done in budgeting has never been done before.
Okay.
I still stand to be corrected. Now let me give you an example. Parenthetically speaking, on November 14th, 2022, in Abuja, the World Bank have what they call DLIs, which I have explained. And those are delivery links to access budgetary processes. Out of those 9 DLIs that the World Bank has given, the truth is, when they assessed all the 36 states, including FCT, in what the rankings are like, in the first DLI, for instance, they can say, oh, you did good, bad, or poor, or excellent. Now, those 9 DLIs, when the World Bank published their result, Imo State, mark this word, Imo State is the only state in the federation that scored excellent on all the 9 DLIs. No other state.
Wow.
Yes.
No. Scored excellent.
Excellent. Like on the 9 DLIs. And that thing results to the governor or government that are doing things prudently. And the award was brought to Governor Hope Uzodinma for being the most prudent management of resources as of 2022 based on World Bank rating, because all the delivery indicators, Imo State scored excellent.
Wow. Can you give us 2023 budget expectations?
Well, that is budget of wealth expansion.
Okay.
Is building on what we've been doing. Remember, this is the shared prosperity administration. So in expansion of wealth is what it will be good for the people. The budget is making infrastructure available to citizens of Imo State. The evidence is everywhere. There are some roads that are not motorable 5 years ago. There are some streets that had been abandoned 20 years ago. When you give people amenities that work, give them hospitals that function, give them schools that function, you are expanding the wealth.
Okay.
Sometimes unknown to people, that they say what? I think there is an old saying that say, health,
It's wealth.
good health is wealth. So when the environment you are in, all the amenities are functioning, that is wealth already. Because now for a layman, you can say how. You can simply drive your car now, almost all the major roads, let me use Owerri for instance, and you drive Owerri to Olo, you drive Owerri to Okigwe, without even your tire, unless your tire is outdated, without even being punched by because of numerous potholes we used to have. If you drive your car and you didn't get your tire, I'm downloading this to average person to understand, it didn't puncture, and you know that before you can get from here to Douglas Road, maybe your tire had been punctured or something have happened to your car.
As a result of bad road?
Yes, as a consequence of bad road. Then you go and fix it, maybe with 20,000 naira. You have lost weight, unknown to you. But if you drive freely now, get to point A and point B, you have saved that expense. That is money you would have spent ordinarily in a bad infrastructural environment. By indirectly, that money now becomes wealth for you because it's a savings. This money would have dispensed. And this goes in category when you go to hospital. I just met somebody this morning that came to my office. He said he went to a hospital in Omubuma, and before then, that he were carried, from Lagos. He couldn't be treated and everything. But upon arriving in Owerri, they said go to Omubuma specialist. So he went there. He said he was treated. He came here, because he's somebody that I know. He said he was treated in that hospital.
Oh.
Now this is a guy that lives in Lagos.
Okay.
I don't know what the issues were. Maybe if this hospital in Lagos are very expensive, maybe. I didn't go and interrogate him. But the point I'm stressing is that people go to certain hospitals now in Imo State, and this he had a heart condition, so it's not a joke. And he got treated under 2 weeks.
Wow.
So that is a hospital in Imo State that this administration refurbished.
Okay.
And is functioning and saving lives.
Okay.
At a cost-effective manner. When you save a life, you have created wealth. For people that don't know. So the examples are endless. You put people in a good, secure school, and they get quality education. Through that education, their standard of living will improve, and wealth will be created. Then we have industries, we have countries showing interest. As of June last year, I was in South Korea to talk to investors who monitor the way the budget of Imo State is being done.
Okay.
And they got interested that they will come to Imo State and build what is called smart city. As I speak now in Africa, there is
smart city?
Yes, smart city. There is no smart city in anywhere in Africa.
Wow.
If it's being built in Imo State, it will be the first smart city in Africa.
Wow.
It will have skyscrapers and everything.
Wow.
And they have visited our government and shown that they will spend over 20 billion US dollars in making this happen.
Wow.
That they see the governor managing the economy of the state prudently.
Okay.
So there are reasons for this administration to go on.
Okay.
Because Governor Hope is attracting wonderful projects. And these industries, we just discussed this morning through the same company.
Okay.
They said they will bring their partners from South Korea that will build electric vehicles in Imo State.
Jesus.
Yes. So a lot of wonderful things are happening. And that is why we plead to some of the people that are disgruntled, that call themselves opposition. Let's give peace a chance. When all these things are being done in Imo State, it's for everybody.
That's correct.
Whether you are PDP, whether you are Labour, whether you are APGA, it doesn't matter.
That's correct.
We are employing Imo State citizens. We are giving opportunity to Imo State citizens. And these people were on tape when they came. I will Google that tape and you hear it. That they will create over 500,000 jobs in Imo State.
Wow.
Yes.
Smart city.
Yes, through the Smart City project. So, this is just showing you how when you do something good, it can attract a lot of good things.
Okay, sir.
We heard you said it's going to give around, that is about, give jobs to
5,000.
It will create over 500,000.
jobs.
I repeat, yes. 500,000,
That's
half
Smart
a
City?
million jobs, yes.
Okay.
The Smart City
Through
project.
the smart city project.
Yes. Because the Smart City project will involve, it's a city, it's a complete modern city. There will be modern hospitals,
Okay.
there will be modern markets,
Okay.
there will be modern filling stations, and the city will have electrification 24 hours uninterrupted.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. And I've been to South Korea to see example of what they want to duplicate here. It's called Incheon City. This city will even have its own airport, despite this
Wow.
Owerri airport, yes.
Okay, sir. That's marvelous. Indeed, Governor Hope Uzodinma has a lot of power-packed programs
Yes,
for Ndimo.
exactly.
And I really want to applaud your ministry for assisting our governor in being prudent in managing the economy of this country, of these states. Because one would say, considering our revenue generation, the money that comes from federal government, we are more or less one of the lowest states that receive small amounts of revenue from the from the federal government. But God so kind, you are here to assist our governor to make money through prudent means. I applaud you, sir. And I have with me, I'm not here alone, sir. I have other senior colleagues with me. I have
I'm Sabi Elemba of Business Day newspaper.
okay.
Honorable Commissioner, yeah, let me say take you from the past administration of Rochas, when we had jobs, industry. So now you talked about the smart city. You said you've been to South Korea, and they will come here. And the other administration said, industries, then we are coming. We want you to be specific and tell us, when will this be?
You know, Rome is not or was not built in a day. What I'm telling you is the trajectory of events. The South Koreans, I visited South Korea, met a lot of CEOs of various industries. Time will not even, space and time is not given for me to get into the type of conference that I went there for 2 weeks and came back with copious report. And they visited Imo State. They were here in December. Yes. Okay. And that's when they unfolded all they would do, built in Imo State. All the activities would take something like between 2,000 to 6,000 hectares of land.
Wow.
And some of the lands have already been identified, like in Emabiam, in Onimbitolu, and some other locations. So what happens is that as soon as the memorandum of agreement is concluded with them, they are coming with their own funds.
Wow.
Yes. They are sponsoring these projects with their own money.
Okay.
So the issue is, as soon as all the requirements that the state, the aspect of, giving them the land that is required to build a city, not an estate, of course. Once that is done, then they will come. To be honest, coincidentally speaking, I spoke with their CEO this afternoon, just like 1 hour ago before your arrival here.
Okay.
What they're saying to us is that they are ready to come.
Wow.
So the moment they come in, just even clearing the land to start construction is already jobs being created. Mm-hmm. It will require people to clear the place.
That's correct.
We're laying our foundations. So we are not here to just shout like jobs, and industry. At the end, you see none. We are telling you that this thing is ongoing. It's going on, and it will be happening. It will be unfolding.
It's in progress.
So we are not playing politics. We are talking of real things. Even when the roads infrastructure started, some people were talking a lot of whatever they want to say. But today, I think the narrative has changed. Mm-hmm. So that is how, when this project starts, you will see it. We are not going to tell you this amount of jobs will be created in 1 week. But what I told you is that the white people in government house, when they were interviewed, they are the ones that told us that this project will produce more than 500,000 jobs in Imo State over a period of 12 to 16 years.
Wow.
In building this. But it will commence with the administration of Governor HOSTESS.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you.
My name is John Chinyere. I report for the Nigerian Tribune newspapers.
Okay.
Honorable Commissioner, yes, I know that your ministry is saddled with the responsibility of monitoring the budget of other ministries.
Yes.
Parastatals and all whatnot, sir. Will you say comfortably that your ministry has lived up to its position in monitoring these ministries? Again, how satisfied are you with the funding of the ministries? Thank you very much, sir.
Monitoring and evaluation is part of the requirements and responsibilities of this ministry. It's not only just making budget, making economic plans based on proper statistics. I will answer the question in an unbiased form. In the sense is that when we do our monitoring, it's quarterly monitoring. When we do quarterly budget monitoring performance, we send it to World Bank. for them to evaluate and re-evaluate what we have claimed that as a state we have done, which is in line with the budgetary process. And under the same self-tax that I tell you before, we have dwelled on that through this interview. The World Bank measures all the claims the state have said according to the ministries, NDAs, what they have done. And what they do to each state is that once everything you claim is in tandem with what is in the budget, there is a fund they release. And that fund is 150 million naira.
Wow.
And since 2020, I will tell you, is on record, Imo State has never missed one.
Wow.
Yes. So every quarter, this ministry brings 150 million, like grant again, based on proper budget monitoring and evaluation.
Okay.
So if World Bank will look at what we have done each quarter and they will reward us financially that it has been done in line with the budgetary assumptions and estimates, that means it's an objective evaluation, because nobody will give you money if you are doing the wrong thing. But I tell you, since we started this since 2020, Imo State have never missed any quarter where it didn't get 150 million
Wow.
from World Bank.
Marvelous.
My name is Anol Vincent from Daily Independent Newspapers. Mine is just a clarification. You said you were in South Korea last June,
Yes,
where you had fruitful discussions
yes,
with some companies there,
yes,
and some of them have indicated interest to come to Imo State and invest.
yes,
And that last December they were in government house.
yes.
Maybe
We visited Imo State.
They visited Imo
And
State.
they spent 7 days here.
Okay, they spent 7 days, had fruitful discussions
Yes.
with His Excellency. This project, is it the smart Imo City something that you talked about? Is it the name of the company that is coming, or the project they want to establish in Imo State?
Okay, now the city, smart city. They want to be smart city. And the reason is that I'm even surprised you people didn't ask me why is it called smart city. That one is for another day. So I wouldn't ask question that is not asked.
Okay.
But anyhow, what happened in that is that this project, when we went and discussed it, we wanted to call it, and we are still playing around with the name. The name is still being massaged. We call it Imo Diaspora Smart City. The essence of interjecting the word diaspora is that this is the kind of model of city you see in places like New York, Paris, so that our sons and daughters, Nigerian sons and daughters that are living in these cities, if they see that such a city now is existing in Nigeria, and parenthetically speaking in Imo State, that would be a motivation to come back home. That thing you're enjoying in Europe is right here in Umbitolu, it's right here in Asarabiato, it's right here in Omuguma. Because some of our people are living there now because of lack of comfort, lack of basic infrastructure that we get. Like you go to your house, you turn the tap and the water is running, and that water you can drink it without going to buy bottled water, because it's well purified. That you can turn the gas in your house without going to buy gas from a filling station, and that the light is 24 hours and the city is very secure.
Yeah.
Some of our people live overseas now. That is just what is keeping them there. And we want to bring such amenities right here on 24 hours basis in their own domain, so that they can come home and help rebuild Nigeria. We are not.
He said since the year 2021
Yes.
that Imo has got not less than $10 million on average
Yes.
from the World Bank
Yes.
to execute what?
These funds, when it comes in as grant, it goes into the coffers of Imo State, and that is why you should know that Imo State normally doesn't get so much money as when you compare to Delta State, River State from FAC. You should not be amazed at the level of infrastructure that is going on in Imo State. So these monies are directly put into the building of the infrastructure, which everybody is transparently witnessing across the state. Solar lights, everything. It's part of the funding process.
And it's not a loan.
No, it's not a loan. A grant is never a loan.
Okay.
And what grants is grant, not loan.
Okay.
Yes.
I got you correct. You said that the money is $10 million more every year. And
Yes,
you said
on the average.
On the average,
Yeah.
you said if you add that 2023, we are talking about getting $40 million.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If you include the one that will come for this 2023, yes,
Okay.
it will be up to 40.
So you are certain that Imo State will get the 2023 on?
Yes, of course.
Wow. That's a good one.
Because we have met all the indices. So at the point they do release the money through Federal Ministry of Finance. It's public information. Now you people will hear, sometimes you hear that Federal Ministry of Finance is releasing maybe 400 billion on that World Bank program. Then you see states. Like the last one we got is 11 million US dollars. Yes. That's the one that we got in June last year. Yes.
Honorable Commissioner, my name is Adanna. I am the Bureau Chief of Nigerian Pilot Newspapers in Imo State. So I want, my question will border on the name C.C Osuala. What is the C and the C? Again, what's your, I know you must have been, you're a professional. What's your area of specialization?
Okay.
So that Nigerians and the world will know who is doing this wonderful work. and
To
why.
have achieved these milestones.
Okay.
I already know.
Okay. Okay. To respond, my name is Dr. Christopher Chukwuemeka Osuala. I studied engineering.
Okay.
I have first degree in electronic engineering.
Okay.
I have master's degree in electronic engineering.
Wow.
I have master's degree in general engineering. I have a PhD in electrical engineering. I have a PhD in general engineering. I have a PhD in engineering, management sciences, and economics. I have a bachelor's degree in law. I have a bachelor's degree in economics. I have a master's degree in economics.
Were you once a member of the National Assembly?
Yes. In 1999, we are the first group that were elected into National Assembly. And
You represented which constituency?
I represented the largest constituency in Nigeria. That is Wangele, Nkwere, Isu, Njiaba, Federal Constituency. It's 4 local governments. If you Google it, out of the 360 House of Representatives, Wangele, Nkwere, Njiaba, and Isu Federal Constituency is the largest in Nigeria.
Yes.
Yes, I'm the first person that represented.
That was it.
Okay, sir. So I have this book with me.
Yes.
Imo State Government 2022 Citizens 2022 Budgets. I said rebuilding 2020 rather. What is is it the budgets you wrote this?
Okay. Yes, I wrote it. Now, okay, let me give you a clearer understanding of the document you are holding. A typical budget, this is it.
Okay.
Exactly what you are holding. This is Imo State Government
Of
budget,
Nigeria.
approved revised estimate of 2020. So it's from this we wrote that.
Okay.
Now, the difference between this you are looking at, this is highly technical with a lot of statistics if you look at it.
Okay.
Now, what World Bank said, very valid question you asked. what World Bank said is that this type of document that states and countries publish, that their citizens usually don't know what this is, because you cannot read this unless you are somebody that is well trained, both maybe in economics, statistics, and other things, to be able to read and understand this.
Okay.
But then they said, can you now translate this complex document that is almost 800 pages?
It is a compendium of the budget.
Yes, this is a compendium of the budget. They say, can you now translate this into a document that even a high school student can understand? It's a Herculean task. And that's what the creation of citizens' budget.
Okay.
So that thing you are holding, that document that is about 37 pages you are holding, is equivalent to this 800 pages document.
Okay. This is from which year to which year?
This is only 2020, and that thing, that's what when we wrote the Median Code.
Okay.
So this thing, when we hand it over to you, is equivalent to
this?
yes.
Wow.
So in the night you read two of them and you call me tomorrow which one you understood. That's my own assignment to you. The idea is that the budgetary process is funds that come for the state,
For the people.
it's public fund. But most public people, 99% of people don't even understand it. Then World Bank said the idea of transparency and accountability and sustainability is that the average man, a person with small knowledge of English, should be able to read that document and understand it. Just at least to understand. Because if you don't understand something, how would you know whether we are following or not following? So that is what created the idea of citizens' budget.
Okay.
And when we did the English version,
Okay.
the World Bank gave us, that is another area that I didn't touch. When we came back, when we arrived, when Governor HOSTESS arrived in Imo State, go and Google it.
As a governor?
As a governor
Okay.
of Imo State. When he was sworn in on January 15th, I believe,
Yes.
of
That's
2020,
right.
Imo State was rated 33
Jesus.
in budgetary transparency out of 36 states in the Federation. Yes, you go and check statistics of 2019 and 2020. It will validate what I have told you. When we brought Imo State into SEFTAS,
Okay.
State Fiscal Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Program of World Bank, when we brought Imo State into that, Imo State went from position of number 33, this is in 2020 I'm saying, to number 12.
Wow.
Yes, in 2020. Once we were admitted in this program. Because now, part of that admission is what I've been explaining. Now, a lot of people can understand what the budget is because of citizens' budget.
Okay.
Are you getting this
Yes,
linkage?
sir.
Now, when we immediately interrogated World Bank, after they had placed us at that position among 12 states now that their budget can be understood by the citizens of the state, that put us at that enviable state of among the 12 states.
Okay.
What happened is that then the governor tasked my ministry again, said that we should do better than number 12.
Okay.
Then we wrote back to World Bank to say, like, what are the things we would do to improve our situation in terms of position of budgetary transparency. They say we have to deepen the understanding of your budget to the citizens in your locality. And in our locality, Imo State, the lingua franca is Igbo language.
That's correct.
They say for you, you have written citizen budget that is in English. But to deepen the understanding of the budgetary process, you must write it in the lingua franca of your area, which is Igbo language.
Wow.
That is why we wrote
Okay.
the citizen budget
Igbo.
Igbo fashion.
Atuma.
Yes. This is one translated into writing fashion in Igbo language. So in conclusion, with about 5 million plus people in Imo State, it's either you can speak Igbo and please be able to read Igbo, then you will understand the budget. If you can't, if you can read English and speak English, then you can read the version. And when those two versions were published and accepted by World Bank for meeting their standard, the position of Imo State moved from number 12 to number 3
Wow.
in the federation. Can you people clap? Are you not citizens? You have to. So Imo State now, as of then, as of that 2020, it was only Kaduna and Lagos State that have translated their own in their local vernacular.
Okay.
Lagos being Yoruba version and the Kaduna Hausa version.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So then in Southeast we are number 1 and we stay number 1 in budgetary transparency
Okay.
in Southeast.
So currently, which state is the number 1 in budgetary transparency?
Well, in budgetary transparency, the state that is under is not even the state now that is number 1, because almost all the states now have entered the SEFTAS thing because they understand prudence management or resources. So the way you look at it is that some states will do very well in DLI 1 and maybe do poorly in DLI 2, but everybody is now a member, you understand, so to speak. But if I have to answer the question, if you look at the state that scored excellent in all the 9 DLIs, that state should be actually number 1, and that is Imo State.
Wow.
Yes.
So Imo State
Thank you,
scored excellent in all the DLIs.
Yes.
DLI means what?
I said it means
Delivery,
link indicators or disbursement link
delivery
indicators.
link indicators.
Or another name is disbursement link indicators. So the two names are.
So you mean that World Bank regulates or they watch how Imo State budgets?
No,
Right.
because all the 36 states now, I believe, have keyed into this. They are watching the whole 36 states, not only Imo states.
Wow.
Yes, as we speak.
Finally, sir, what is your word
About.
to Ndimo?
My word to Nimo is simply this. 1, we must give peace a chance to reign. I believe, and it is true, that Governor Hope Uzodinma would have done 10 times better than what we are appreciating and applauding today if we gave peace a chance by making Imo State a secure state. It's the job of everybody. Security is our job. Secure our houses, secure our villages, our communities, and all that. If we put together that we want to build Imo State as a number 1 state in Nigeria, is the job and responsibility of all citizens of Imo State. It's not the job of APC people. It's all out, because Imo State belongs to all of us. After 8 years, another governor will come in from any party. It can be PDP, it can be APC, it can be whatever new party that can even come up. So we can't use politics to destroy our state, because no administration will stay here for eternity. Constitutionally, after 8 years, a new administration must appear. A new person must appear to lead the state. But we must build on solid ground. We must lay solid foundation for successive administrations. That's why every project that Governor Hope Uzodinma have taken is a solid project that will last for many years. In that way, you are saving money for subsequent administrations, because you are building solid foundation. All these solid roads that have been built, I hope you people have forgotten acid rain. That is nothing like acid rain. So all these solid rain now, all these solid roads Governor Hope had built. Next administration will not come and start building those roads.
Okay.
Next administration will use the funds to do other things. Can you see the wealth expansion principle? But if you build poor infrastructures, like ICC Center now has come down, a lot of things that were built in the other previous administrations are coming down. Most of the roads are not motorable that were built last time. So those funds, if they build solid structures, this administration now will be building other things. You see the point? You see how a state gets wealthy? It's by doing solid things. It's not by doing everything. haphazardly. Is if you do 50 rows, let it be 50 solid rows. So the next administration can come and build maybe another 50 or 100. If you build schools, let it be solid schools, so that the other administration will build on it. But all these things will happen in a peaceful and progressive environment. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So we are going into electionary period. So far, I want to ask, do you approve the re-election of Governor Uzodinma, and why?
Well, if the interview I have given has been copiously recorded,
Okay.
you will see that this governor has brought some innovation
Okay.
that has never happened in the history of Imo State.
Okay.
This budgetary transparency alone is enough to re-elect Governor Uzodinma.
Okay.
Now, even in a spiritual sense, I will say that as Christians, we always pray for hope when we go to church, for good hope.
Mhm.
That is why we always pray. And all of a sudden, Imo State has gotten hope. What would you use to replace hope? Hope is not replaceable,
That's correct.
because that is what humanity wants.
Mhm.
Hope for life, hope for better living, hope for this. And God has blessed us with a governor called Hope, who is doing well. I wish the constitution would be amended.
Oh my God! So that you can give him extra 3 years or more.
So that we can continue to have hope.
Okay.
I don't know anybody here that wants hopeless.
No.
Is there anybody?
No.
So let's stay with hope.
Thank
Okay,
you
sir.
very much.
Thank you,
very
sir.
much.